It's the other half of Smosh, Anthony Padilla. Is it Padilla or is it Padilla? Anthony, I love you. I don't actually love you, but I also grew up watching you, and I think you're really cool. And what you've done, your pivot from leaving Smosh to doing your own thing, it was scary because I thought you were gonna turn cringy and weird, but no, bruh. You really a cool dude. I was so invested in your relationship with, I'm not gonna say her name because I'm sure you moved on. It was a long time ago, and I think you with somebody else. And I don't want to bring up any bad memories because I don't know why I'm speaking like this. I was very sad when you and Eon Cox broke up. Wait, no, y'all are still friends, ain't you? Hi, by the way, Tribe. I'm so sorry. Hey, Tribe, how you doing? We gonna watch some Anthony Padilla. I spent a day with conversion therapy survivors. What? Conversion therapy survivors? Conversion? Like equations and stuff like that? I feel like I've seen that word and phrase before. Conversion therapy. What did that mean? This video contains, okay.
Conversion therapy, or reparative therapy, is a practice that uses any attempt to alter a person's sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression. In 1899, a German
Bad rain, what? Why are you doing that to people? Let them be what they want to be.
to alter a person's sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression. In 1899, a German psychiatrist claimed that he had turned a gay man straight with just 45 hypnosis sessions and a couple trips to a brothel. In a continued attempt to correct what was believed to be unwanted or sinful behavior, some people faced electroconvulsive therapy while others were subjected to even more extreme techniques such as lobotomy of the brain. Today, some
What the fuck? Hold on. So folks was getting the gayness electrocuted out of them, and it probably 100% never worked, bruh. Are there any stats supporting the continuation of conversion therapy or whatever? Cause there's no way that this is like still a thing, right? There's no way. Bro, that's going through the fucking eye.
convulsive therapy while others were subjected to even more extreme techniques such as lobotomy of the brain. Today, some 700,000 adults in the US alone have received conversion therapy, half of which were subjected to these practices from religious or spiritual advisors and even licensed healthcare professionals before reaching the age of 18. A recent study found that LGBTQ who experience conversion therapy are nearly twice as likely to attempt suicide than those otherwise. My name's Anthony Padilla, and today
I ain't gonna lie, bro, did you just fall from the roof? My turn.
as likely to attempt suicide than those otherwise. My name's Anthony Padilla, and today I'm going to be sitting down with conversion therapy survivors to learn what it's really like to experience a practice that's been discredited and proven ultimately harmful and outright cruel. Were these conversion therapy survivors able to come out of this experience with a newfound appreciation for their most authentic self? Or they live every day deeply tormented by the overwhelming shame they were forced to experience at the hand of those they believed had their best interests at heart?
Damn. So you mean to tell me that like the parents of these poor kids like convinced them to go get electrocuted because they were gay? That's so sad, bro. That's actually genuinely sad, bro. Who are you supposed to trust at that point? Your parents just caused that to happen to you. Your own guardian, the person that you're supposed to trust.
And outright cruel. Were these conversion therapy survivors able to come out of this experience with a newfound appreciation for their most authentic self? Or they live every day deeply tormented by the overwhelming shame they were forced to experience at the hand of those they believed had their best interests at heart?
Did y'all go shopping?
Hello, Matthew.
Hey, Anthony.
Matthew. Bro, there's only one T in your name.
There.
At least there's two R's in your name.
Peter.
Hi, Anthony. How are you?
Do you have a T? Okay, cool. Hi, Peter.
Thank you so much for coming on here and teaching me about the world of surviving conversion therapy.
Absolutely a pleasure to be here.
What do you consider yourself? A conversion therapy survivor? Someone who's been shamed for their authentic identity?
It's pretty hard to find the right words for it, and conversion therapy survivor is the word that fits best.
Conversion therapy survivor, and I like to include that I'm an advocate to fight conversion therapy now.
As a survivor of conversion therapy, and as somebody who didn't experience it in many of the traditional forms.
Can you explain what conversion
I
therapy
like seeing you up there, brother.
Anyone. It could
You
be
look
a therapist,
good.
a pastor, a life coach, or a friend who tries to change your sexual orientation, gender identity, or gender expression. I mean, I didn't call it conversion therapy. There's a lot of terms out there. A lot of these therapists don't say, hey, come over here, we're doing conversion therapy.
The name is misleading in and of itself. It's not therapy.
You can say it's torture, you can say it's
That's what it
abuse.
sound like.
I mean, you're really destroying people's lives. Historically, yeah, you hear about electric shock therapy and other really aggressive forms of aversion therapy. There's less of that today. Most of it is talk therapy, and no one should think that's any less damaging.
I'm confused. Is the therapist just trying to convince the person that thinks they're gay or feels like they're gay that they're not gay? And how would the therapist even go about it? Like, do you like the same gender? Yes, doctor, I like men. If I say that and then you proceed to say, no, you only like girls. Nigga, who is you? What the fuck?
Forms of aversion therapy. There's less of that today. Most of it is talk therapy, and no one should think that's any less damaging.
So is it not bad? Because we need to hop
the events
on that
led up
process
to your
immediately.
experience with conversion therapy?
When I was in high school, I was definitely realizing that I was different from other kids. I felt myself attracted to guys when everyone else was attracted to girls. I met another guy on campus who was also identifying as a Christian, and he challenged me with this question of, what does God really want for your life? That moment led me to being a part of his church, where I pretty much gave up everything in pursuit of trying to remain heterosexual or become heterosexual under the threat of not making it to heaven. And so that began the process of, at first it was, well, stay living in the church in the basement. It was dark and there was an open sewer, so
Oh shit! So it is kind of like how I imagine it.
the space that I was in was very cult-like, or maybe it could be considered.
What the hell? It like went from, yeah, let's talk about God, and now we're in the basement of some church with an open sewer. We're the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles down there.
At first it was, well, stay living in the church in the basement. It was dark and there was an open sewer, so
Oh shit! So it is kind of like how I imagine it.
the space that I was in was very cult-like, or maybe it could be considered a cult, under the guise of, we care about you and we're worried about you. And so you feel good in the moment.
Major cat,
and
major
there are
cat.
all these people who seem so invested in you, right? You're like, oh, but I'm so bad. And they're like, oh, but we're going to help you. Cut off more and more parts of my life, to the point that I told my friends and family just to forget about me, because I was convinced that I was going to send all of them to hell.
Early on, I knew that I was different, but I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know what my attraction to men was.
I like your beard.
But I knew it was something I needed to hide. When I was 15, my parents found a men's workout magazine that I had bought, and they didn't tell me about it, but my dad told me that we were going to go on a trip together, and he didn't tell me where we were going. I remember very vividly when we got to a layover in St. Louis that he told me that they had found this magazine and that he was taking me to a therapy center to fix whatever weird sexual shit I had going on.
You thought you were going on some fun vacation with your dad, a bonding experience, and it turns out it was to fix something he felt was inherently broken within you?
He also made it really clear that not only did he think something was broken with me, but that if I didn't get fixed, as he called it, that he would get rid of me. Everything that was important to me in my life, my family, my faith, my home, was about to be gone. But we went to a counseling center in Iowa. For 2 weeks, I worked with therapists and doctors and counselors at this counseling center.
I got beat up really bad my junior year. I was hospitalized. How I identified as a guy compared to everyone else really began to change for me, and I actually felt afraid for my life for the first time. I was gonna get exposed somehow, and I needed help. What help meant was my father, who I looked up to, if I could tell him, come out to him, and know that he supports me, then...
Shout out to your father, Matt Hugh. Unless he's a dirtbag, then not shouts out. He has the thickest mustache I've actually ever seen ever in my life. I always thought that mustaches were a myth, but it's actually as thick as it can possibly be, bro. It's like covering his mouth. When he talks, you don't even see his mouth moving, it's his mustache.
Tell him, come out to him, and know that he supports me, then maybe I'll know that I'm safe. And so that's how I came out. I came out to my dad. But literally the next day, my dad had his own panic of like what this meant. His only son was going to live a gay life. What does that mean to our family? What does that mean to the conservative community I was growing up in? And he began immediately searching for a therapist, not knowing what a conversion therapist was. I was 16 years old. It was 2004, and I began conversion therapy right there and then. And
can you explain what the conversion therapy process was like?
I sat with a series of
W question,
therapists.
Mr.
It was very
Padilla.
heavily religious, but they believed in what they called generational sin, and that would be that my grandfather or my father or my uncle or my mother had some kind of sin that then passed on to me and tainted me and made me.
I'm not feeling it.
Gay. That could be one of the reasons.
So it was your battle to fight to make up for your ancestors' sins.
I was supposed to do homework and write down any sin that I knew my father had committed or that my mother had committed. There would be some physical things too, like I remember them making me walk and try to walk more masculinely. Throughout the therapy, I crossed my legs. They would tell me like to sit differently. There was a lot of talk about sexuality as well, in detail. I remember them talking about how much I did, if I watched pornography, even my penis size.
How is that relevant to
Wow, right.
I never told my dad that. They asked that because I thought I assumed he knew, and this was just part of what was supposed to happen. The next 5 years were me keeping that idea, that thought process, that conversion therapy going myself.
Why they curious about Joe Johnson?
Be fixed for something that I didn't want and I couldn't control.
Even though it's not connected to the more formal forms of conversion therapy, the methods are still the same, the outcomes are still the same. As I stayed longer, it got progressively worse. I had taken to sleeping on the altar of our church at night because I was so insistent on God doing something that I was willing to do a very old school Bible type move where it's just you just show up and wait for God.
They actually ask you how sexually experienced you are, because in the world of conversion therapy, that matters.
Okay, so they want to make sure that you've only dabbled.
So because I was less experienced with men, they're like, oh, you should probably start to see your heterosexuality come back within 6 weeks. They gave an actual timeline.
Within 6 weeks.
I mean, this was with all seriousness.
Did you hear that 6 week number and you're like, okay, I'll just be on my way in 6 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, mind you, I think I mentioned earlier, I was in it for 5 years, so obviously the numbers didn't add up.
Before we continue learning about the world of surviving conversion therapy,
every woman I had a relationship with was affirmation that I am straight. I'm doing it. I have all these guy friends. I'm dating these women. These girls like me.
I'd like to bring awareness to Born Perfect, an organization that was actually founded by
Matthew,
who is in this video, that's dedicated to spreading awareness and empowering conversion therapy survivors with
Matthew in the chat.
Introduce and pass legislation to end conversion therapy practices once and for all. For
That's
more
actually
information,
really
or
fantastic.
if you want to make a donation of your own, which I would highly encourage, I'll go ahead and include a link to Born Perfect down in the description below. And I'd also like to thank Honey for sponsoring this episode. As you know, sponsors allow us to continue the series and support all the excessively stunning people who help make this series possible behind the scenes.
The B
Honey is the
Incorporation.
free browser extension that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. So you'll no longer have that empty discount code box staring you down in the face at checkout, because if Honey finds a working coupon, a Honey
until I heard it out
drops
loud.
down and all you have to do is click apply coupon.
Yo, Honey is not paying me nothing. I'm sorry, Mr. Padilla, but I do love you. W. Anthony in the chat. Get your bag, my G.
Were there any big moments during your stay there that made you kind of second guess, is this right? Should I be doing this?
So they saw that, okay, your dynamics with your family is a big part of why you're gay. And how to correct that is, we wanted me to spend as much time as possible with the males peers in my life, so whether the boys at school, father figure, my uncles, or maybe other male cousins. Meanwhile, I was not allowed to talk to females at all. The reason they said that was, we don't want you to pick up effeminate behavior.
Doesn't that kind of seem like it would perpetuate
counterintuitive,
feelings
counterproductive
of having you only be surrounded by those in which you are attracted to?
Yeah, I mean, that's how I met my first boyfriend. But I talked to my mom and my two sisters for the first 3 years of my conversion therapy. I would wake up in the morning, mom would make me breakfast, I'd walk downstairs, eat breakfast, and I would walk right out the door and not say a word to her.
Would you even like look at her or acknowledge her existence?
I try not to, because at that point I was following my father's lead. I believed in the therapist. I was so passionate that like I'll succeed. I will actually get through this. I will actually get attracted to women. I will live a straight life. It's gonna work.
When things didn't seem to be changing, my pastor like assumed I wasn't doing all the spiritual things. He said, "Oh, well, you still need to be more spiritual, so paint the church." What he was asking me was less and less about me or spirituality or change. It was
Nigga
just
was using
control.
you.
Did you
Yeah.
follow through with your entire conversion process?
For me, it was like every woman I had a relationship with was affirmation that like I am straight. Like I'm doing it. Like I have all these guy friends. I'm dating these women. These girls like me. I really thought it was working. That was also around the same time where my depression really grew. I was having panic attacks. By the age of 20, I had probably submitted myself to like an emergency room at a hospital maybe like 7 or 8 times.
Reflection.
How did you feel after you were convinced that you completed conversion therapy?
I was mostly scared that my parents wouldn't believe me when I said it worked. Very quickly after that, I continued to have sexual thoughts, and I realized that something was still broken with me. It was a really, really dark time in my life.
Nothing
Mostly
broken
I
with you,
felt
bruh.
really isolated from God.
Your
Like,
beard is
if
fantastic.
God wanted me so badly to be straight and to not have these thoughts, and I wanted it, why wouldn't he do something about it?
With that said, are you still heavily faith-based, or have you kind of disconnected from that?
I'm an atheist.
That was enough to kind of set you on your way.
That was a journey
I don't
on
blame
its
you,
own
brother.
too. When
I
I was
don't even
16,
blame you.
I attempted suicide,
Whoa.
and I wrote a note in my pocket that just said, "God, please forgive me." And
Damn.
I didn't feel like there was any hope for me. I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad I survived. But it took me a really long time to be glad that I survived.
Did anyone treat you differently after you were so-called converted?
When I left conversion therapy, I had to rebuild my relationship.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm happy you here too, bruh. And yeah, I understand. Being happy that you're alive is an interesting thing that you gotta learn.
I'm glad that I'm here. I'm glad I survived. But it took me a really long time to be glad that I survived.
Did anyone treat you differently after you were so-called converted?
When I left conversion therapy, I had to rebuild my relationship with my mom and my sisters because I didn't talk to them for 3 years. I stopped talking to my father because I blamed him for the whole thing. I had to go through 2 years of like,
I feel you on
do I
that.
go to therapy, or who
Right,
do I
you were just
talk
taught
to?
that therapy is something to manipulate you. So,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
like, where were you supposed to go now?
I went to therapy for the therapy I was in, basically.
When did you ultimately decide that you were actually happy in being your most true, authentic self?
When I was 18, I went to my first Pride Festival in Atlanta, and I remember seeing these parents
Atlanta!
carrying signs that said, "I love my gay son," or "I love
That's
my
cool.
lesbian daughter."
That's kind of fire. That's actually kind of fire. They
And
got
it
signs
really
like
hit
that?
me that that I wanted that love. That maybe I deserved that love.
You do.
Not just from my family, but from myself. For the first time in years, feeling a little spark of hope that maybe I could be loved.
Oh, bro. Of course you can be loved. You seem like a
Why do
great
you
guy.
think the suicide rates for LGBTQ who have undergone conversion therapy is so much higher than those who haven't?
Well, if you're gay or LGBTQ and you come out, you might lose everyone. It's not like someone's telling you, hey, like, you're perfect the way you are, everything's okay. It's like, no, you're not perfect the way you are.
Right.
You have to change. When you're at a dead end, suicide becomes appealing to so many people. And we do know now that all it takes is one guardian or one person in your life that supports you, helps that individual out of suicide.
If you could sit down with your therapists/instructors who inflicted conversion therapy upon you, is there anything that you'd want to say to them?
I have done that with one. When I realized how
What'd you
it
say?
was harming me, it was really hard for me to wrap my head around because I'm like, but we were so close. I shared everything with him. He knows the ins and outs of my whole life. That was what I told him.
Damn.
Did you realize how harmful it was what you were doing? You know, he cried. When he cried, I didn't even know. I didn't cry. I didn't know what to do with it. He was like 31 or 32 and he just became a therapist. He discovered conversion therapy because when he was a student, he interned at a practice that was doing it. He said he was probably treating 12 or 13 boys at the time I was his patient. And He said today, all 13 of them are gay.
Right, it didn't work at all.
Yeah, he says that he realized how
all 13 of them.
I forgave him in that moment because I wanted to be free of it. Not saying he deserves a pass, but yeah, I think all conversion therapists, including my own and the others that I saw, should be held accountable.
I don't think I would sit down with them.
Have any of them reached out to you to apologize or how to change a heart or anything?
No, none of that. I've thought frequently like how the conversion therapy experience has stuck with me all these years. And I bet none of them remember me.
They had such a detrimental impact on you, and yet it was just business. How has this whole experience affected your...
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm feeling some type way about how they treated my dog Peter, bro.
And I bet none of them remember me.
They had such a detrimental impact on you,
That's sad,
and yet it was just business. How has this whole experience affected your current mental health?
When the therapist told me that I sounded too feminine or that I lisped, I still hear recordings of my voice and I hate my own voice. The things that were drilled into me aren't gone completely, but I fight them, and I fight through that.
If there's anyone watching who has experienced conversion therapy themselves, is there anything that you'd want to say to them?
Trust yourself. You know who you are.
Facts.
Do not question it, whether your parents are questioning it, the therapist is questioning it. I knew exactly who I was at 16 years old. I'm the same person. I could have been proud and confident then and not go through a 15-year journey to get back to exactly where I started.
He's spitting, bro.
Do you feel like you gained anything positive from your experience through conversion therapy?
Empathy. I was also the person who was standing on the bullhorn telling people that they were going to hell if they didn't repent of their sins. I led other people to that church that was cultish and toxic for me. I know what it is to do things fully well-intentioned and to realize that what you did was really harmful.
All right, you got 5 seconds to shout out or promote anything you want directly into camera. Go.
If you want to learn more, go to bornperfect.org or follow us at bornperfect and support the movement.
goodfruitproject.com. Also, get in touch with me at darrencalhoun.com or Hey Darren on any social media.
I just want to tell anybody who's LGBTQ who needs help to call 866-488-7386 to speak with the Trevor Project.
If you enjoyed this content, subscribe now and follow Anthony Padilla.
Fire.
That was perfect. That was perfect. Thank you so much, Peter. I feel like I understand the world of surviving conversion therapy just a little bit more.
I appreciate you having this conversation.
After spending the day with these incredibly resilient conversion therapy survivors, I've come to understand just how much religious and societal pressures can really have such a massive detrimental effect on one's entire sense of self. These survivors deserve the utmost respect as they advocate against these practices in order to protect others who may fall victim to similar situations. See you later, bye guys.
Press a like.
Ban conversion therapy, bro. Who thought it was a good idea? Wait, you like men? Oh yeah, let me just jam this little knife into your brain, wiggle it around. You won't like men anymore. It'll be fine. Too dangerous? Okay, let me just electrocute you a couple times. You won't like men anymore. It's gonna be fine. Too much? Okay, let me just basically brainwash you into being straight, subduing your actual self, inevitably causing lifelong trauma. I hate that Christianity is used this way, but it doesn't surprise me. Why it seem like this is some shit started by the Christians, bro? I believe in God, don't get me wrong. I believe in God. What we have done to Christianity strays far from what I believe God is about, bro. Very, very far from what I believe God is about. Because at the end of the day, we have no right to judge. Who am I to tell you how you should feel? Especially if you know your body more than I do. Not only am I in the wrong for even doing that, but to then presume to know where we're gonna go after we die? Who the hell are you, my nigga? You just as regular as I am. Just because you got a pastor next to your name don't mean shit. Because at the end of the day, when God stands before the both of us, you think he gonna address you as pastor, whatever you are? No, he gonna call you by your full name, just like me, just like this person that's gay, just like this person that's not gay. All this judgment be pissing me off because it comes from Christians standing on their high pedestal like they're better than folks. And it's like, bro, That's not how Christians are supposed to be. This is what causes folks to look at Christians with such a side eye, because of some of the crazy shit that we say and do in the name of God, even though God never said or would do that. I spent a day with multiple personalities. Dissociative identity disorder. What?
Dissociative identity disorder, once called multiple personality disorder, is a disorder in which a person alternates between one or more alternate personalities that function with separate memory and awareness and adapt with amnesia between them. The first detailed account of DID can be traced back to
Whoa, so they just become a completely different person? Is that not bipolar? Bipolar or bisexual? What the fuck? Google, what are you talking about? A mental health condition that causes extreme mood swings that include emotional highs, mania or hypomania, and lows, depression. Okay, so it doesn't change who you are, it just changes how you feel rapidly. Is that correct? Or am I incorrect?
The first detailed account of DID can be traced back to 1791, when a German woman began speaking perfect French and behaving like a French aristocrat, despite never having learned French or even having been to France. Although appearing extremely rare to the general public, it's estimated that between 1 to 3% of the global population may have this disorder. My name's Anthony Padilla.
Bro,
Today I'm gonna be sitting down with people
It's not
who
safe to fall from the roof like this.
fragmented identities to learn the truth
behind
behind this heavily misunderstood disorder. Does DID access hidden capabilities and skills within the brain, allowing people to harness brain power in a way others simply aren't capable of?
Who is this nigga?
Or does it keep them feeling bogged down and restricted from participating in normality? Are they openly proud of their disorder? Or has the media's portrayal of DID forced them to
Bro, why are you speaking with such intensity? You making me tense.
down and restricted from participating in normality?
I like it.
Are they openly proud of their disorder? Or has the media's portrayal of DID forced them to live a life of alienation and solitude, too worried of what their presence will unleash in others?
Okay. I'm like kind of lost, but I'm so intrigued.
Hi, Amanda. Hi, the Redwoods. Nin.
Hi.
Thank you so much for coming out and teaching me about the wondrous world of dissociative identity disorder.
Anthony, there's so much to learn.
What do you consider yourself? Someone with dissociative identity disorder? Someone with
I like the way
multiple
she
alters?
speaks.
Yeah, just so DID.
We identify as first as we, and we identify as multiple. Sometimes we say we have DID, sometimes we say we're plural, but multiple is the main word that we use.
I consider
You got some
myself
long
being
hair.
part of a DID system. So you could say somebody with dissociative identity disorder, or if you wanted to refer to us collectively, it would be saying that I'm part of a system of alters.
Can you explain what having DID entails?
Yeah.
A system of alters. Okay.
Be saying that I'm part of a system of alters.
Can you explain what having DID entails?
Yeah, so having DID means that as a child, your personality was unable to fully develop into one singular personality. Everybody as a child starts off with an unintegrated personality, and around the ages of between 7 to 9 in normal development. But if there is repeated or severe trauma before that age, then the brain can say, whoa, I can't deal with this. This cannot be my life, and we would not be able to survive if I was aware of this. So this trauma, along with the ability to dissociate to a high level and having disorganized attachments to your primary caregivers, prevents one personality from fully integrating, because the amnesia that goes up to keep that trauma away. And that's why if you have DID, you have multiple personalities rather than one singular one.
For us, like when we first started figuring it out, someone
I like her explanation. It was very succinct. I think I understand, but I'm gonna say it out loud just in case, because I might be able to spot some stupidness. And also, are those socks? Like, what's the fit here? So for example, because their personalities have it integrated into one, are there different versions? Is there like an angry version of the main person? Questions. I have questions because I'm now very confused. Is DID just different personalities of the extreme? Like, so for example, there's a happy personality, like they're always happy. There's an always sad personality. There's an always angry personality. Is it like that, or are there more nuances? Like
away. And that's why if you have DID, you have multiple personalities rather than one singular one.
For us, like when we first started figuring it out, someone who thought they were the only person for like a long time, right? Like as most people think, oh, I'm just the only person in this body.
That's what people would identify with normal.
Right. They're like, yeah, of course there's only one person, right? And you start to think like, what could this be? Am I possessed? Am I like?
You thought you were possessed?
Like I didn't think I was possessed, but I definitely wasn't going to talk about it with anyone in case I maybe was possessed.
That's the last thing you want people to know.
Right.
Yeah. I actually Googled spirit possession when it got really strong.
Whoa.
Yeah. Fortunately, this was like 2012.
Yeah.
There was some article that was like spirit possession versus dissociative identity disorder, and I was like looking at that, and then I went to a therapist, and they were like, "Yep."
Were you stoked that you were not possessed by a spirit?
I don't know.
Do you feel comfortable saying how many alters you have?
At the last count, which was actually about 2 weeks ago, I had 22, I think.
22.
We're 9 people living in one body. So we went from 3 to 9.
What makes it grow?
Like 7 years.
I have 16. So there's 17 of us total. Ranging from age 4 to eternal. Eternal. She's really cool.
Whoa.
She's really, really cool.
Can I speak
frequently?
to the?
She fronts occasionally. She's the caretaker, so she takes care of the littles in our heads, and then occasionally she'll come out.
Wait, what does that say?
She's the caretaker.
Can we speak to the eternal? How long have they been alive? I have some questions about history that I'd like answered.
Frequently?
She fronts occasionally. She's the caretaker, so she takes care of the littles in our heads. And
I need to switch headphones. I don't get it, tribe. She just said me. Is the caretaker not also her? So this is the original person. And then, but this is a separate entity within the same person, but they're still the same person. I think I'm overthinking this.
she kind of fronts in the sidelines and behind the scenes more.
First off, do you prefer to be referred to as a single or plural?
Well, it depends who you're talking to. If you're talking about me, as in me, the person sat in front of you talking to you with my personality, then me, one person.
Whoa, hold on. I'm sorry. What?
Me, the person.
Single or plural?
Well, it depends who you're talking to. If you're talking about me, as in me, the person sat in front of you talking to you with my personality, then.
But who else will we be talking about? But okay. For some reason it's hard to wrap my head around this. So like, so this is how a person should be solidified, right? All connected. But DID causes there to be branches to that connection. So you might get a different vibe on every branch. Am I making sense? It's making sense to me, but I'm also kind of dumb. So what may make sense to me may sound stupid to you. I got a callus on my palm. I kind of want to, is it weird that I want to bite it?
Me, as in me, the person sat in front of you talking to you with my personality.
That was confusing. Are you pretty human?
But if I was, let's say, co-con, so there was more than one person essentially in the driving seat, then it would be we. More than one person.
How would I know that?
How might a normal day be different?
How would you tell me if you were a co-con? And also how, like, who do you both use your eyes at the same time? Or can you move your eyes in different directions? How does the co-con situation work? Are y'all just agreeing on most things? Or are you like having a conversation? Or like, and what facilitates? I'm so curious, I ain't gonna lie to you, and I'm asking these questions like folks are just gonna answer me. I mean, some tribe members might answer me dead ass, cause y'all niggas is mad knowledgeable. I ain't gonna hold you, bro.
Then it would be we, more than one person.
How might a normal day be different for you?
Who wants to answer this question?
Yeah,
so this is Z. So it was like a combination of Allie and Eliza talking before.
Oh, okay.
We can kind of blend sometimes. So when we first came into what we would call co-consciousness, and that's a pretty common term, which is the shared experience of kind of being able to talk to each other. A lot of people don't have that, and they're basically like coordinating in the dark with someone who's not there when they're there. And so like you might be doing something and then come back and it's 3 days or 3 weeks later.
Whoa.
And your life has been lived and
That's
all kinds of
scary.
stuff is happening. I have a friend who would be heading one place and then someone would switch and then they'd head back home and then they'd switch and head back and forth and it would take like 4 hours to get out of that loop until the same person came back and was like, no, we're actually going here. And what they learned to do is to text themselves or leave notes on their iPhone and read those. And so it's kind of when you come to the front and you feel disoriented, you can read those notes.
It's almost like having amnesia and leaving notes for yourself.
No, it's called dissociative amnesia. It's like,
yo, that sounds kind of difficult to manage though, bruh. Could you imagine you go to the bathroom and you wake up in Mexico? I'd be pissed going back and forth on the highway, bro, because I'm just wasting gas at that point. Yeah, that sounds real frustrating, bruh.
Read those notes.
It's almost like having amnesia and leaving notes for yourself.
No, it's called dissociative amnesia is like basically the term for that.
I was in the bath. I just switched out, so I had no memory of what happened before. Didn't remember getting in the bath because it wasn't me. It was my alter Kyle, who's my primary protector, and he'd apparently decided that he wanted a snack while he was in the bath, and there was just this half-eaten banana on like the shampoo holder, and I was like, what? Why? That's disgusting.
So you just realized that you are in a bathtub with a half-eaten banana.
Yeah, like peeled. It was pretty beautifully presented, actually.
How do you feel about the different labels?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm on Kyle's side, bro. Bananas be hitting.
It was pretty beautifully presented, actually.
How do you feel about the different labels in terms of personality, alters, identities, multiple?
Yeah, there are a lot of people who don't like the term personality because when a lot of people think of personality, they think of like how you act in a certain situation. So some people, when I've told them about DID in its most basic terms, have said like, well, I have a completely different personality when I'm at work, and then I come home and I'm a different person. And it's like, I completely understand what you're saying. But it's kind of different when it comes to DID. So some people feel that the term personality isn't quite encompassing or serious.
I might be reading too much into it. I'm trying to spot like when they change into different personalities, but I don't, is it a sudden shift or is it just subtle things? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it just subtle inflections of the tone and the way they present their gestures and stuff like that? I don't know. I think I'm reading too much into this, bro. I'm like really paying attention. This is so fascinating to me. I never really did any type of research into stuff like this.
When I've told them about DID in its most basic terms, they said like, well, I have a completely different personality when I'm at work, and then I come home and I'm a different person. And it's like,
I love the way she talked though. It's so engaging.
But it's kind of different when it comes to DID. So some people feel that the term personality isn't quite encompassing or serious enough. I don't mind the term personality, but the term that's generally used in the community and the scientific kind of side of things is alters, because it stands for alternate state of identity. So
alters.
That's what we prefer to use.
When did you first realize
alters.
you have DID?
Well, it was almost exactly a year ago.
Oh, so it was pretty recent then.
Yeah, so I was having a panic attack, and I kind of felt myself as a consciousness retreat to the back of my own mind.
Whoa.
So I was watching everything from behind, and there was...
I ain't gonna lie. Okay, I don't have DID, but that's happened before. There be times where I feel myself, I don't know. I don't really know how to explain it. It's almost like it's like dissonance.
So I was having a panic attack, and I kind of felt myself as a consciousness retreat to the back of my own mind. So I was watching everything from behind, and there was just nothing there.
In 2012.
Wow.
Yeah,
System member.
So we just switched right there. Really. So there was Allie talking, but then like Allie pulled away because this is Eliza. I was the one who was there and thought I was the only one. So yeah, I thought.
Wait, what?
12.
From behind, and there was just nothing there.
In 2012. Yeah, so this is. So we just switched right there. Really. So there was Allie talking, but then like Allie pulled away because this is Eliza. I was the one who was there and thought I was the only one. So yeah, I thought I was.
So it's not like a super different change in personalities.
Pretty standard, like expectations.
That's how I grew up. Yeah.
Right.
Me too.
And then I just had this like weird triggering confrontation with a stranger.
Now I look, you feel like
what
I'm
I understand is that I had
I'm a dinosaur.
whole system of covering up all of this, a whole like strategy and everything. But I was so busy dealing with family member with cancer, personal life stress, housing stress, and then this sudden trigger, it crumbled.
Yeah.
And there was Allie and Z.
How did you feel once you realized?
Yeah, that I wasn't the only one here.
Yeah.
So the first feeling was actually overwhelming love and joy. I was crying.
You felt good
I was
about
like, it was like a family reunion with these other parts of myself, other characters, but like protagonists in my life.
How DID works is the person who fronts the most often, the host, is generally the one who is kept unaware. Other alters can be unaware too, but the brain is built like that. That's why.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. So if the other alters are unaware that there are other alters, does that mean that they think that they're the host? How do you know if you're the host? How do you know? Wait, which one is really you? No, they're all really you? Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating.
DID exists. You're not supposed to know you have DID.
Right, that's its entire purpose.
Exactly. So if somebody then comes to you and says, hey, you've got this, your brain is going to go, whoa, no, you can't know about this. This is the whole way we've lived our life in order to survive. I was seen by the crisis team after a suicide attempt, and she asked me to fill in some questions, and this one had been a little different from the others, and it was my first real kind of communication with one of my alters, Kyle, my primary protector, the banana guy.
W Kyle. W banana
He's
eater.
gonna hate me for that.
He's gonna watch this later and be like, yeah, no,
that's
we need
who
to
I
have a
am
talk.
now. I'm the banana guy.
Yeah.
And he basically saved my life after this, and I could hear him talking to me, and it was the first time that I actually kind of wasn't like, okay, yeah, so this is my inner voice.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. Everybody else says, like, you know, your inner voice, you talking to yourself.
My inner
And
voice
this
sounds
lady
British.
in the crisis team was like, have you ever heard voices? Before this, I would not have given that a second thought. I've been asked that before and was like, no, definitely
I
not.
have.
It was very much like a man's voice. It didn't sound like it was coming externally. Again, it wasn't exactly like a voice.
It was an
But
interpretation.
but it was very different.
But no, I haven't heard like voices in real life. I've heard voices in my dreams. Like I'll be dreaming and I'll like hear a voice in my head and it'll sound like me, but British, but also sometimes an Australian woman from the 90s. I think it's because when I was younger, my mom used to have this radio that she play all day, and the two things that I would fall asleep to and wake up to is a British man saying the news or whatever, and then I'd wake up to an Australian woman saying the morning news. I guess I just have those two voices in my head. But sometimes I hear them say some crazy shit like, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, so this is my inner voice.
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was. Everybody else says, like, you know, your inner voice, you talking
I'm
to yourself.
fascinated.
Yeah.
And this lady in the crisis team was like, have you ever heard voices? Before this, I would not have given that a second thought. I've been asked that before and was like, no, definitely not. It was very much like a man's voice. It didn't sound like it was coming externally.
Was it a sexy
Again,
voice?
it wasn't exactly like a voice.
It was an
But
interpretation.
but it was.
Wait, is it weird to consider that question? Was it a sexy voice? Because it's technically you. You would just be calling yourself sexy or a portion of yourself sex. I don't know, bruh. How do people fake DID? I'm not saying that these folks are. I'm just wondering because I know that people fake illnesses to get attention and stuff like that. Have people fake DID?
I've been asked that before and was like, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
It was very much like a man's voice. It didn't sound like it was coming externally. Again, it wasn't exactly like a voice.
It was an
But
interpretation.
but it was very different from mine. And he was like, I'm gonna be with you the whole time. You're gonna be fine. You can do this. And was like, you need to lie on your stomach now. And I was like, what? And was just pretty much shutting down at this point. And I was watching everything happen as if I was across the room.
You had an out-of-body experience almost?
Yeah, it's part of dissociating. It's
Yeah.
called derealization,
Yeah.
when you don't experience what's happening in your life or the world around you as
Hey.
it feels like a dream.
I have experienced that many times in my life because I've
Yeah.
had severe panic attacks.
Yeah.
And in those moments, it feels like my body goes numb. I feel like I'm able to see myself and my actions from a third-party perspective.
Yeah.
And I've almost felt crazy because I feel like there's me And then there's a me inside my head noticing my outside actions.
Literally.
That's derealization. You're dissociating from yourself.
I ain't gonna cat to y'all, bro. I told my parents they baby go to therapy, bro. I'm tight. For a good portion of my life, I'm thinking like, damn, them drugs really fucked me up. But, I mean, they did. They did, I ain't gonna hold you. But it's also because of other things too, though, bruh. When I had them panic attacks and I literally see myself heaving and breathing in that corner, bro, I'm like, damn, how am I doing this? I told my mama the next day, and she talking about some, oh, Ugen moves is sweet. It means you got a demon inside you. And I'm like, I don't know, mama. You tell me. Derealization. And the therapist wasn't even a therapist. It was a pastor telling everybody at church I had a demon spirit. And I'm like, I'm 14. I got demons inside me already. That is crazy. What did I do? I just started living life for real, for real. I'm already messing up that I got demons inside. I just started this life shit, bro. That's crazy.
The world around you as real, it feels like a dream.
I've experienced that many times in my life because I've had severe panic attacks.
Yeah.
And in those moments, it feels like my body goes numb. I feel like I'm able to see myself and my actions from a third-party perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've almost felt crazy because I feel like there's me, and then there's a me inside my head noticing my outside actions.
That's derealization. You're dissociating from yourself because it's a traumatic situation. If you're having a panic attack, you are, well, it's traumatic.
Do you ever experience, for example, like you're recording something on camera and then you look back at it later and you are just then realizing for the first time what occurred on camera?
I did have a little while where I was like, I don't ever want anybody to see me like that. But it was coming to terms with, that's not you. And that's why it's okay. And if people are looking at my altar in this body and saying, that's Nin, then they're denying that other altar's existence. And I had to stop thinking from the point of view of that, this is my body, I'm the only one who deserves to be here, this is only gonna be my life forever. Because they've always been there, or most of them have always been there. They have a life and feelings and wants and dreams of their own. They've experienced terrible things for me and kept me safe from terrible things. Why in the world should the fact that we've experienced terrible things and suffered be another reason that we should have to suffer?
Do each of your altars have names?
They all have names, ages, and literally the personalities. They're all very distinct.
How do they end up receiving names?
Oh, they tell me their names.
Oh, really?
And I have no idea where they come up with some of them because I'm like, this is not something I would have ever chosen. Where did that come from?
Name
one of my altars' name is Freedom.
Freedom.
Yes.
That's fire.
Does that altar represent freedom?
America?
I mean, her first name was Pain, and then she switched it to Freedom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
A very literal
yes,
naming
so
system.
it was for her. So
Yes.
some of my protector's name is Brad.
Oh,
Like just a very, no.
Name not protector, but name is Brad.
Yes, the protector, his role is a protector for us,
Yes.
and his name is Brad.
Do you consider having DID a hindrance in your day-to-day life?
Even normal things like going out to a coffee shop or going out to the zoo, whenever me and my partner, who also has DID, try and do something nice, I don't think there's ever been an occasion where one of us hasn't been triggered. It's hard to do things that are simple, like walking around shopping centers, because
What triggers
certain
you?
things can be positive triggers, which can encourage certain alters to front. For example, if we walk past a toy store, it's an immediate positive trigger for our littles.
Oh, it's a good trigger then.
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean that it's safe for a little to suddenly be walking around. They're a child, so the brain essentially split off, in some circumstances, will have split off and separated that area of life, those experiences. So while they still have access to an adult brain and will be able to understand adult concepts and be able to use adult words, the way they process things is still the mind of a child. So
This is like such a new concept to me that I'm trying to wrap my brain around it, bro. So the jits are called littles. I like that a lot. Do you have no control over who fronts? Like, can you not say Oh, but that would be denying their right to exist. I hit the funny bone in my elbow, but I'm not laughing.
Things is still the mind of a child. So they probably won't know where they are. They'll likely get scared.
Yeah.
I don't know where the body's gonna be when I come back to. Somebody could take them. Yes, we're in an adult body, but adults get taken places too, you know?
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
If
True.
you are in, it's frightening not to have control
Yeah.
and not to have memory, because you don't know what's happened.
That sounds
Yeah,
terrifying.
that's
It is
fucking
terrifying.
terrifying.
I don't have all of the brain power. I don't have all the body batteries. Like some of it's Allie, some of it's Z.
So it's not each person doesn't have 100% within their own.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's 100% is hard. Like, they're 100% of themselves, but in
Right.
terms of managing the body, I do feel like on a somatic level or like a body energy level, like,
Yeah.
we have each different connections to different pathways in the brain and in the body. Like, I feel more sensation in certain parts of my body. And then if Allie comes to the front and I go away, Allie's gonna feel something differently. She might even taste something differently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and like different people have some food preferences based on that. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, we don't get to explore a lot of that because it's hard to go into a restaurant and be like, hey, there's actually 9 of us eating. Can you give us like this order and this order,
please?
Yeah.
Do you proudly tell people that you have DID, or is that something that's more of a secret?
I wouldn't call it a secret.
Right.
I mean, you know,
You're
doing an
here
interview.
in front of the world.
Right,
Yes,
right.
but there have been, I am careful because there have been times I've told people who have completely retreated from my life just because the stigma is around it. One of my alters, she's my 16-year-old, has purposely told people we have it to push people away when she didn't like them.
So it's a defense mechanism.
It is. It can be for her.
Hold on, if you have DID and I know you, like, I just have a bunch of different friends in one person. Is it weird that I would consider it kind of cool? Unless you have an alter that like wants to murder me, then, you know, they could try. That'd be interesting. I'm kind of hard to kill, apparently. I'm just telling you, based off of evidence, I should be dead. I tell you, bro, I should be dead as hell, but here I still am, making reaction videos on DID. Life is so interesting nowadays, bro. I'm the happiest I've ever been. Thank y'all. I'm actually so locked in, bro.
Times I've told people who have completely retreated from my life just because the stigma is around it. One of my alters, she's my 16-year-old.
What are the
has
stigmas
purposely told
around
people
it?
we have it to push people away when she didn't like them.
W16-year-old
So it's a
alter.
defense mechanism.
It is. It can be. For her, it is.
Yeah.
For some of us, it's better to not say.
I'm trying very hard to stay in the body.
Yeah, I
I'm
get it.
sorry.
If you need to take a moment, totally cool.
I'm just switching, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Take your time. We got plenty of time, like I was saying.
It's hard.
Hey, I know it's hard, but
Is it
you're so
painful?
strong because you flew all the way out here, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's okay to feel these things because, yeah, like I said, you're here to talk about it.
Is it bad that I feel a little bit scared, but also kind of intrigued?
Do you want to take a quick moment?
Her pupils
Sorry, what?
are.
Do you want to take a quick moment off stage?
No, I'm here now, sorry.
Okay.
Whoa!
Hi.
Whoa!
Sorry, what?
Do you want to take a quick time, like I was saying?
It's
Okay.
hard.
Hey, I know it's hard, but you
Okay.
flew all the way out here, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's okay to feel these things because, yeah, like I said, you're here to talk about it.
Side note, do you like chilies? I'll wait for
take a
anybody to
quick moment?
answer.
Sorry, what?
Do you want to take a quick moment off stage?
No, I'm here now, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
It's
No
Kyle.
worries. Hello, Kyle.
Nice to meet you.
What's
Hi,
good,
to meet
Kyle?
you.
Of course we were in a
Yeah. You're not cool with the skirt?
No, not really.
No.
I'm a bit uncomfortable.
I see you trying to cover it
Yeah,
up.
no, stop looking at my legs.
So you don't approve of Nin's choice?
I mean, I'd prefer not to be in it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, cool, looks great.
In it? What the fuck? Yo! Oh nah, this is crazy. Yo, Kyle, how you doing, bruh? Well, good, gang. Oh wait, my fault. I gotta wait for you
Do you want to take
for.
a quick moment?
Sorry, what?
Do you want to take a quick moment off stage?
No, I'm here now, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
It's
No
Kyle.
worries. Hello, Kyle.
Nice to meet you.
Hi. Good to meet you.
What's good, gang?
Yeah. You're not cool with the skirt?
No, not really.
No.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. You pull off the skirt well though.
Trying to cover it up.
Yeah, no, stop looking at my legs.
So you don't approve
fault.
of Nin's choice.
I mean, I'd prefer not to be in it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, cool, looks great on her, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm sure we look cute as hell, but
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I respect
I
it.
wouldn't personally.
You
I respect
personally
it.
choose it.
I'm sure I look cute in a skirt, but would I go out my way to wear one? I'm good, cuh. There's just no reason you would ever find me saying, I want to wear a skirt today. Bro, I want to wear some sweatpants. I'm sure it's real free flowing though. A skirt would probably be a vibe. No.
I wouldn't personally.
You wouldn't
fit.
personally
I respect
choose
it.
Yeah, exactly.
I respect it,
Do you
Cal.
mind continuing this interview?
No, I'm
with
good.
Okay.
I know why we're here.
Do you proudly tell people that you have DID, or is that something that you keep more of
I
a
like that
secret?
Anthony asked.
Depends on
W
the
Anthony,
person.
bro.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a
Yo,
professional
she's like,
situation,
I mean, he's
or
like,
something where if somebody does have like stigma around it, or is very, I don't know, like not open to it, or a little bit oppressive around it, that could be like seriously damaging to whatever we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just safer to like not say anything.
What's the most annoying question you get about DID?
Honestly, the one that bothers me the most is who's the real one,
Yeah.
because that really is like, we're all real though.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Have you heard about them kangaroos in Australia, Kyle? Are you from Australia? I think you is. You sound like you. Do they say in it in Australia? You see the kangaroo down the street, in it? Nah, bruv. Wait, that's literally the UK. What about? Nah, governor. Nah, mate. Like, we're half in the bay, bro. Do y'all say nar in Australia?
Honestly, the one that bothers me the most is who's the real one,
Yeah.
because that really is like, we're all real though.
Yeah.
And also, like, oh, well, psychologists don't believe DID exists. Yeah, they do. It's been like in the DSM and the ICD.
Yeah.
But it's in there, like it's recognised worldwide as a treatable disorder with, you know, a known cause, and there's a ton of medical evidence behind it. Like people have been in CAT scans and brain scans and stuff and switched while they're in there, and you can literally see different parts of the brain lighting up.
How do you feel about the way DID is portrayed in pop culture, like Split?
I mean,
and
you
Mr.
seem
Robot?
different. I ain't gonna lie
Mr.
to you.
Robot is one of the more interesting, like, kind of positive ones. Split was actually like what drove me into plural activism, because I was like not planning on talking about it. What's sad about that movie is like James McAvoy said in an interview in Good Morning America, I think, that he watched a lot of YouTube videos by multiples to understand the role, but that he couldn't find anyone to talk to study for the role. So it kind of feels like a form of stealing, because then he took those kind of interesting physical portrayals that kind of were accurate, maybe pushed, but then used them to represent a really awful situation that I won't even describe.
Without even understanding the nuance behind it.
Yeah.
I think it offends me.
It's offensive.
We're scared people often. We're not monsters. We're not out to get people. We're most often hiding from monsters.
We had
You
this
seem
friend,
cool as
right?
hell.
And after we told them we had DID, this was Chloe at the time, and they were walking.
What? Whoa. Chloe is Nin's host. I thought Nin was the host.
We're most often hiding from monsters.
We had this friend, right? And after we told them we had DID, this was Chloe at the time, and they were walking, and Chloe said, I'm sorry, I'm getting switchy, I might switch. And this was like the first time this friend had seen them. And they were like, they looked really scared, and they literally moved away, and they said, it's not going to be a murderer, is it? Like, she was 100% serious. She was like, are they going to hurt me? Do I need to be, like, do I need to, like, be scared?
Was her only exposure to DID through things like Split?
I don't know, but we've also had comments on our channel, like, of people saying that teachers have used Split to educate their students about DID, as in, like, this is an example of DID. Like, in
Oh no, I thought of murderer, but I figure we all have a part of ourselves where if pushed to that limit, it can get there and it can get real ugly real fast. I think we operate under the belief that humans aren't animals at the end of the day. But that's why I say murderers, because there's a portion of all of us that can commit some heinous acts. You're not 100% good. Let's keep it all the way honest. And it's okay that you're not. You're not supposed to be. You're literally human. You're meant to be flawed. You're meant to have black and white inside you. The fact that you don't act upon those sometimes murderous thoughts shows that you're good. You're a pretty good person. Because some people act upon those thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense? That's why I said that. I just wanted to clear that up because I did say murderer. And I also said that it'd be interesting to have a friend that wanted to murder me. It'd be interesting until they actually murder me.
They looked really scared and they literally moved away and they said, it's not going to be a murderer, is it? Like she was 100% serious. She was like, are they going to hurt me? Do I need to be like, do I need to like be scared?
Was her only exposure to DID through things like Split?
I don't know, but we've also had comments on our channel like of people saying that teachers have used Split to educate their students about DID, as in like this is an example of DID. Like
how do you feel about that?
It is bollocks. Like, oh, it's ridiculous. It is so damaging. Like
that
there
means
are some
ass.
stuff it gets right. Like yeah, it's done through trauma. Yeah, there can be protectors and persecutors, but we're not superheroes.
What the hell is a Split?
There's no the beast. We ain't gonna hurt you. We ain't gonna kidnap you. Like people with DID are created with DID, is developed because of trauma. We are no more likely to be dangerous than any other member of society, and in most cases we are less likely because
Kyle,
of
you
what
seem
we've been
really
through.
shit. I like you.
Most people are more likely to return to the situation of being a victim or being abused.
You want to go paintballing?
What do you think the biggest misconception is surrounding DID?
I think there's the idea that it's purely dysfunctional, that it's obviously miserable. I've definitely had my rough days, weeks, months,
but it's not
years.
constant.
It's gotten better. And I think that's the part that we don't tell.
A lot of people think that it's really rare.
Yeah.
But the same percentage of people who have ginger hair have DID.
Do you like bowling, Kyle?
1 to 3%, yeah, which means it's as common as bulimia, more common than schizophrenia. You either haven't known it or you ain't known it. If they don't want you to know, you won't know.
If there's anyone watching who has DID but maybe is uncomfortable or experiencing fear about the idea of letting people know due to the negative stigma and judgment, is there anything that you'd want to say to them?
You're not alone. A lot of folks experience being many people, parts, alters, identities in one body. It's okay if it's hard sometimes. The world isn't set up for us to have an easy time as folks with DID.
Right, I'm dissociating now, and
whoa.
Take your time. Let me know whenever you're ready.
Bye, Kyle.
I wanted to answer the question.
You can answer it.
Oh no.
Let me know when you want me to ask it
There's
again.
somebody else here, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Why are you adorable, bro?
Hey. How you doing?
Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
Do you want me to set you up with a question again? Do you want to answer this?
I don't know what's going on.
Do you want me to explain to you what's going on? We're in the middle of an interview about DID.
We have DID.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
And that's what you're here to talk about.
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable talking about DID?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want...
I can answer the question.
All right. I'll ask the one that I just asked Kyle.
Okay. Like low-key, this is kind of cool, but at the same time, I could sense how it could be a problem in your daily life. Damn, she's really legit right now. Like, look at the way her facial expressions change. Let's keep a healthy amount of skepticism. Is she acting? That is some phenomenal acting, bro. Cause the way, like, the muscles and the mannerisms and how... Shouts out my nigga Cal, real nigga from Australia. Love that dude. He also wears skirts, which is really cool. Doesn't like it, but for some reason he wears.
Oh, and
Take your time.
What
Let
causes
me know whenever you're ready.
I wanted to answer the question.
You can answer it.
Oh no.
Let me know when you want me to ask
There's
it again.
somebody else here, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Hi, I'm Tribe Loui. You're adorable.
Hey. How are you doing?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
Do you want me to set you up with a question again? Do you want to answer this?
I don't know what's going on.
Do you like
Do you want me to
bowling?
explain to you what's going on? We're in the middle of an interview about DID.
We have DID.
Yes,
Facts.
you do.
Yeah.
You
And
definitely
that's what
do.
you're here to talk about.
I think so.
Yeah.
Do you feel comfortable talking about DID?
Mm-hmm.
W.
Yeah.
Anthony for asking.
Do you want?
I can answer the question.
All right.
Nice.
I'll ask the one that I just asked Kyle,
Okay.
and Kyle mentioned that Nin wanted to come out and answer this one. Do you feel comfortable answering this one?
I don't know what it is yet.
Okay. All right.
I can't answer it till you tell me what it is.
Okay. If there's anyone watching who has DID and is maybe nervous about the idea of coming out and talking about it with people because their fear of the judgment that they might receive or anything like that, is there anything that you'd want to say to them? Any kind of advice that you'd want to give them?
I say
And you can say that to camera if you want.
the camera.
Yeah.
Without the man behind the camera.
Robert Butler the third.
Yeah, doesn't he?
Wait, his name is really Robert Butler the third? Yo, what's good, bruh? I love your smile. You got a real nice beard. Why everybody growing better beards than me? What's the issue? Did God really have to nerf me like this? I mean, I ain't gonna lie, God gave you a lot of things. I am blessed and highly favored. I'm not even gonna hold you. Robert Butler Jr., love you, bruh. I don't even remotely know that nigga.
You can say that to camera if you want.
The camera.
Yeah.
Without the man behind the camera.
His name is Robert Butler the third.
You have such good hair.
Yeah, doesn't he?
It looks very nice.
Good. When you have DID, you feel very alone. And it feels like you're going crazy. And there's no way anyone can understand. And there's no way you can have a good life. And this is it. It's going to be bad life forever. It's always going to be living bad memories, people thinking bad things, and it's not. And even when it feels like that, it feels so bad. And the memories are so bad.
It's okay, take your time. And if you want a moment, it's okay.
Oh.
And if you want to cut this part out or anything like that, we totally will.
Okay.
Yeah, so take your time.
But we felt like that. And now everything's different.
What's different?
We're not alone anymore.
Is that a better feeling?
Damn, bruh. Oh, God. Yo.
It's okay, don't be sorry. That's why you're here. You're here to talk about this and to feel these feelings.
I almost started clapping.
Let
Like,
me know if you want to stop for whatever reason. This is all up to you.
Somebody else is here.
You can let them speak whenever you want.
I'm really sorry.
Don't
no,
apologize.
it's
I'm
literally.
too small.
Yeah, it's okay. You have
It's
no reason to apologize.
Bye.
What happened?
I don't remember the name. Years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Gave a really good response.
Can I still do it too?
You want to do it too?
I do, yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's okay to take your time with it. Nobody's entitled to information about why this has happened or anything deeply personal about how you exist as you are. But there is absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. We see you and we believe you.
I actually have a parting gift for you, a Best
Yay.
Interviewer shirt that you can get at padildoshop.com, but you can have this for free.
Now 16 people get to wear one shirt.
This is Petra, this is Joy, and this is Z. Listen to all of us when we say, subscribe to Anthony Padilla.
System.
That was great. All right, you got 5 seconds to shout out or promote anything you want directly into camera. Go.
Treemunity on Twitter, and check out the pluralassociation.org.
3 minutes left on the SD card. Oh no.
Go follow us at Dissociated, and also if you're looking for somewhere to feel safe, there are loads of Facebook groups.
Definitely you should subscribe to him because 16 of us really enjoyed this. And
That's why you're using your 5 seconds?
yes, yes.
Thank you
that okay?
so much,
Thank
Nan.
you.
I feel like I understand the wondrous world of dissociative identity disorder just a little bit more.
Thank you for having me.
After spending the day with these people with DID, I've come to understand just how nuanced the discussion of this disorder is and how important it is to be accepting and supportive of any and everyone, because you never truly know what may be occurring behind the scenes. See you later. Bye, guys.
Press a like.
Bye, Mr.
Sometimes it's
Perra.
flattering that people want to like look after us and stuff. Can I tie my hair up? Sorry.
Do whatever you gotta do.
That people will want to be like flattering and shit like that. But
Yeah.
sorry, can I swear?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I've been trying
Yeah,
so
yeah.
hard.
Don't censor yourself. No, speak
Okay.
however you want to speak.
Changes everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you like Nin's jacket? Nin brought a jacket.
Please.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you lifesaver. Can I put it over my legs?
Yeah. Do whatever you
Okay.
gotta do.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I thought we decided earlier that we were going to wear trousers. I thought that was the decision that we were settled on.
She went above and
actually.
beyond.
Apparently. Yeah.
Yes.
I want to talk to each of the alters and figure out what their first memory is. Oh my god, this is like hella fascinating, bro. What the hell? Yo, shouts out to Anthony, bro. The way he conducted this interview was with such care and consideration. I'm happy I actually decided to watch this video because this really showed me something different, bro. How many alters can you have? Is it an infinite amount? And what was that eternal altar? I want to talk to that altar. I hope I didn't offend anybody with my dumbass questions and pieces of commentary. I think I'm funny, but maybe I'm not. I don't know. I really don't know, bro. And people keep on subscribing to me and they're not really saying like why. They're just like, yeah, I'll subscribe to this fucking idiot. If I said something to offend you, it wasn't done maliciously. It was simply done out of ignorance. I truly am just, I love learning. That's like one of my things, understanding the world a bit more, a bit better. This is hella fascinating. I'm about to watch this obsessive compulsive clown interview. Steve, let's see what they talk about. Enough for me. No, seriously, enough for me. It's been your boy, Loui, and in case I don't see you tomorrow, even though I will, that's just what it is. Good day, good afternoon, good evening. Good night. Good night, Charlie. Yeah, it's the end. Leave a like and share it to your friends and your kin. When I post a video, I'm gonna need y'all to attend. Thank you for the view, but I ain't done with you. 2023, I'm about to be Jordan with the flu. Yeah, join the tribe. Yeah, join the tribe. I'm gonna need y'all to subscribe.